Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Green Life DIY Garden and Home channel. So today I wanted to bring to you a recipe. It's called Eggplant Rollatini, and you can tell already by the name that it is an Italian dish. And eggplant is one of those vegetables, in my opinion, that is overlooked in the stores. I overlooked it for a long time because I just really didn't know what to do with it. Now, me, when I plant in my garden, I try to plant things that's not only uh, stuff that I like, but I want it to have some type of health benefits as well. With the eggplant, it helps lower blood pressure. It because it's full of fiber. It helps with anemia. It prevents some types of cancer. Um, and you could just kind of go on and on with the benefits of your eggplant. So today I wanted to go ahead and capture this while I have some fresh eggplants that are ready. I harvested these this week. This is one, the other two right here. Now, I really don't need all of these for the dish that I'm going to make, I don't think. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, the first thing you want to do, of course, wash your vegetable off, dry it. And with eggplants, because they are full of water, I am going to go ahead and get these sliced. And you could sprinkle salt on them and put them in the oven, or you can put them in the microwave. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and be careful with these because sometimes they have thorns on them. I'm going to go ahead and slice off this end, and I'm going to slice off this end. Now, if you want to, you can peel your eggplant with a peeler or however you choose to peel it. I'm not going to peel mine. I'm going to leave the skin on. I'm going to cut it at this angle, not in the circular. And I'm going to make strips out of it so that I could wrap my mixture in it, kind of like an egg roll. Now I'm cutting these in about 1/4 of an inch slices. And usually when I do eggplant recipes, I always stay with about 1/4 of an inch. That way it could cook through. And if I'm baking them, they won't burn. And it just depends on whatever you want to do. Now this is a great vegetarian dish because it calls for no meat or anything like that. But if you wanted to put meat in this dish, you could. It's just that's not something I'm doing. So, see, I'm cutting them lengthwise. Okay. So I've got my eggplant sliced, and what you could do at this point is go ahead, sprinkle some salt on this, and let them rest for probably about, I'll say about 20 minutes. And that's going to give it a chance to actually release some of the moisture, some of the water content out of the eggplant. Now, some people also take their eggplant once they are done resting, they put them in the oven so that they can get soft enough to be able to roll. Today I'm going to use the microwave. I'm not a big microwave fan, but I do use it. And so I want to make this quick and easy, and that's what I'm going to be using to get the eggplant soft enough to be able to roll the mixture up in it. Okay? My eggplant are done. They're soft enough now for me to go ahead and take out. And I'm going to place them on a paper towel so that I can get out any excess moisture that is left in them. Okay? So you just take them. You can see this steam coming out the bowl. It's very hot. And they are soft. I'm going to lay them down on this towel. Alright, what I'm going to do next is let those sit there and rest. You could throw another paper towel over the top. You could lay them out on a tea towel, put that on top. Just whatever you need to do to get the extra moisture out of it. I'm going to go ahead and dice up an onion and a garlic clove. You won't need an onion this big, but probably about half of it. And 1 clove of garlic. Okay, so what I did, I had a can of crushed tomatoes, probably about a 14.5 ounce can. And I took some fresh tomatoes also that I had in the garden and went ahead and blended those all together. If I had some marinara, I probably would have used that. And I sauteed onion, I sauteed some garlic. I'm going to add this mixture to my sauteed garlic and onions, and then I'm going to put it on a layer on the bottom of my baking dish before I lay my eggplant. Put my eggplant rollatinis in there, and I am going to top it also with this same mixture. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay. So this is the fun part. You get to put whatever you want to put inside of your rollatinis, okay? Now, I am going to use cottage cheese, mozzarella, breadcrumbs, and a little bit of Parmesan. And it's as easy as taking my container of ricotta, I probably won't need the whole thing, so I'm going to use a half of this 32 ounce. I'm going to use some mozzarella cheese. Now the thing with shredded cheese, sometimes I use shredded cheese, sometimes I don't. Most times I get block cheese and shred it myself, especially if I'm on my health kick where I'm trying to stay away from carbs, because I didn't know until way later that shredded cheese actually has fillers in it. So that's a little tip. All right, so we know it's 2 cups in here. I only need about 1.5. I'm going to just sprinkle in some Parmesan. Right, we're going to use some breadcrumbs. Thought I had some already open. Probably good 1/3 cup. You don't have to use that. Again, you can play with this. Some people put an egg in it. If you're vegetarian or vegan, then you don't have to. I'm not going to do it today. And you're just going to give this a good mix. I'm so sorry I'm working with limited space. When I get moved, hopefully I can get my kitchen set up where it won't be so tight, the little area that I work in. Now, I went out today and harvested some fresh cinnamon basil to put in this mix as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Pull these off. All right. If you really love basil, herbs, spices, whatever, you know, this is the time you could go ahead and throw it in there. All right, so got someone at the door. Okay, I'm sorry I had to go answer the door. It was Jehovah's Witness stopped by. Talked to her a while back. I was outside and her and another lady walked up, and she was just following up to see if I was ready to talk. Okay, so this is the baking dish that I'm going to use. I've already got it oiled with coconut oil. Let me grab my sauce. All right, this is the tomato sauce that I told you I was going to put on the bottom of my pan or my glass dish, and then I'm going to put my Rollatini in there, and then I'm going to top it with this same tomato sauce, okay? All right, so just got it in there kind of like that. I'm going to take my eggplant, some mixture, put it in there like that. And my eggplants, I don't let them grow so big, so they're not as long as some that you would see. But this is long enough in length to be able to wrap it. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. All right. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna start layering them in my glass dish. Just like that. So let me go ahead and get these rolled and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I am done rolling my eggplant mixture into the eggplants, and this is what it's going to look like. All right, so from this point, I think I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on them because I didn't really use a lot of salt. I don't like a dish with no flavor that tastes bland. That's a good way to get me not to eat it. Crack some pepper. I think I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more Parmesan on top. Some cheese. Before I do that, I'm going to put all of this on there, so it's not going to hurt me to stick that over in there right quick. I'm going to put my sauce, my tomato sauce on top. Okay. That way, that's going to give it some more flavor. Gotta get all of it out of here. Okay. Now I'm going to put my cheese on. Okay, and so your dish is going to look like this or something like this. Okay, so I'm going to take and put this in the oven on 350 for about 30, maybe 40 minutes until it gets nice and tender and I feel like it's to my liking and ready to eat. All right, so I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Okay guys, so this is our finished dish. I'm going to go ahead and get it plated up. It smells so good. It looks so delicious. And I am ready to go ahead and dig in. So let me get me one on a plate and let's see what it's tasting like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get me one out, put it on my dish here. Well, I think I want me one with a lot of cheese. Probably should have had my spatula, but whew, apparently didn't wrap that one good. Before I taste this, I want to tell you thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will not miss any content that I post ever. All right, here we go. Now I know y'all know this is hot. So, whew, I need to let this cool for just a second because it's just literally coming out the oven. Try to get a smaller piece. I don't want y'all to see my, ooh, this hot face. Mm. Mmm. Mmm. That's delicious. It almost reminds you of, for some reason, macaroni and cheese. Because the eggplant is acting like a pasta, like a carb. That is so good. Mmm. All of those flavors mingling together and marrying each other after it actually had enough time to bake off, and once it's set for a while, even more so. Mmm. The only description I could give right now is macaroni and cheese. All right, so listen, I want you guys to give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think about it. And until next time, bon appetit. I'm going to just keep eating.